Well. Look what we have here. This Red Hood versus Punisher battle done made its way here. You wanted this, Sully? You wanted this because this battle I've heard of a whole lot. You know, being a Red Hood fan, because I kind of tend to psychoanalyze Red Hood a lot since like I was a teenager, because I plan to write for him when I get into DC. You know, hashtag before 2030. But anyways, as we're going into this, the only reason why this is a fight is because they're gun guys that kill people. That's most of their similarities. Personality-wise, they're not alike, like very much at all, as someone that likes to psychoanalyze Red Hood a lot. But you know, what makes this in contention is the fact the Punisher has like Garth Ennis, and so he has a lot of crazy feats, and the Red Hood tends to get sidelined as like a middle child a lot and things like that. Plus, for like the first few years of Red Hood's tenure, he was a villain, so he tended to lose a lot. Even now, he tends to lose a lot. But let's get this right. All right, Punisher is a soldier, you know, guns. He had his stint with the hand, so I guess you could say some ninja training. Meanwhile, Red Hood is super, you know, highly trained. I can make a whole video about just how trained he is, but this would get this video way too long. So just know Red Hood is the more skilled fighter, the more skilled marksman. All right, he's trained with people like Batman and Shiva for 6 weeks and all sorts of that. Red Hood has his whole mystical thing with the all blades, which, you know, probably wouldn't work on Frank because they only work on evil last time I checked. But I've heard some say they can work on anyone now. I don't quite remember that. If I did happen, I must have forgot it. But yeah, and then the whole front Punisher penance there not working, that's a myth because he needed, you know, armaments, magical armaments for that. The penance there has very much worked on him before. That was just a specific case of him having tools for that. So Punisher most likely has more experience because he's older and was in the war and all this. But Red Hood was, you know, he's been in the trenches since he was a kid fighting all sorts of stuff. So let me tell you, all right, Punisher, in the simplest terms, is a man with a gun. Red Hood is basically Batman with a gun. And, you know, when you get that, that's a mystical, mercenary, assassin, ninja man with a gun versus soldier man with a gun. And yes, that is very much an oversimplification and a simplification to some people, but that's the easiest way to get across the differences, because if I were to actually compare and psychoanalyze, this video would be like 10 minutes long, man. So yeah.